Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to an episode hosted by your host here at Top Tier Talk. Today, we will cover a little bit of a different game. We're only one game in the Premier League, which will be the Arsenal-Brentford game. Amir covers the Chelsea-Salzburg 1-1 draw, where hopefully they'll be able to scrape a few points in the near future to get their Champions League qualification. And Manchester City against Dortmund, where they get a nice 2-1 cushy win. So, let's get straight into it. Amir, do you want to cover the 1-1 Salzburg-Chelsea draw for me? What happened?
Yeah, no, obviously it was a big game for us. Graham Potter's first game in as a Chelsea manager, first game in the Champions League. Yeah, it was just like any other Tuchel game, basically. Apart from the first half, we looked like we were a bit more fluid in attack. We couldn't finish our chances, which has already been an issue. And in the second half, we invited pressure and they scored to make it 1-1, and they nearly made it 2-1. So yeah, it was a typical Chelsea Tuchel game, but you can't expect any changes with Graham Potter in like 10 days, can you? So no one's going to be like going into panic mode and stuff. So it's quite good. We've got the international break, so he gets a bit more time, can have another proper analyze of the players.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully when we get back in October, he has a first 11 in mind that he's set on, and he just goes from there. You just got to take time when you got a new manager and just trust him, basically. Trust the process. That's my new favorite saying now, because that's what I'm doing as a Chelsea fan, and that's what Todd Bowley's doing as well. But yeah, go for it.
I was just going to say, I just want to touch on it because I watched the game myself as well, and
yeah,
as you said, like towards the first half of the game, you seem to be like dominating the game, holding the possession a bit, and then second half, kind of it just dropped off. Like the energy kind of went, and like I don't know what happens.
It's like every other Chelsea game that's been happening under like recently and under Tuchel. We invite the pressure on instead of trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck and trying to get a second to bury the game. And we just kind of get lucky at the end of it. But yeah, no. Players, some people blaming Kepa and stuff like for the goal. Like, nah, go away. Like, Chan, absolute breeze. But you can't expect change in so little time. I remember when Tuchel came in, we drew 0-0 with Wolves after that. No one was in panic mode or anything. You just got to give the manager time and trust the process.
Quick question, man. So you've had your first game with this process, Potter. You failed to win. How many more times do you need to fail to win before Bowley gives up on the process?
He won't give up on the process. I said this last week, but we obviously had some connection issues. The only way he'll give up on the process if we're in the relegation zone. I think Potter's here to stay. He's on a long contract. He's on the fourth highest paid manager. He's going to give him time. We've got a sporting director, I think, announced coming in the next couple of days, which Tuchel didn't have. So it's a process. It's just trying to get back up. So you've got to give him time, couple of windows, get the players he wants in, and go from there. Assess it after that. But no, he won't be sacked. Trust me.
I'm trusting you.
I've spoken to Bowley myself. Exactly, it'll be a good process. I'm kind of now like I'm kind of over the heartbreak of Tuchel. I'm just kind of excited now. We'll see what happens. I saw some videos on him of his tactics under Brighton and stuff, and him himself. He did like a degree in like psychology and all that stuff. So maybe as a manager and stuff, like he'll be quite good.
He'll be quality, yeah.
Great process.
I'm joking.
I don't know what you're doing there, but
a bit of sarcasm there. Yeah, we're top of the league, mate. But yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. You're going to carry on saying that. But yeah, Elliot, what was your assessment on the Chelsea game? You claimed to watch it. What did you say? Think of Potter in general.
I think towards the end when you started subbing on like the likes of Ziyech and Pulisic, in my opinion, like with a game like that, I think you should keep your number 9 striker on. Wasn't it Aubameyang got subbed off?
Yeah, but he's still not 100% match fit, is he? He's obviously jaw still broken. He's not fit, etc. So you can obviously see why he came off. And when Brozier came on, we looked a bit dangerous as well.
True, he did actually look pretty good, that Brozier. But it seems like Ziyech obviously was a little bit of a juicy bit of attack as well. He done well when he came on, but then he just looks like he doesn't really care anymore for Chelsea.
No, with Ziyech, I think the crowd is on his case a bit after, especially the last Champions League game. So obviously his confidence is lower, but he was all right. He had a couple chances, chances to score. Yeah, and Elliot, what was your thoughts on Aubameyang's Instagram post yesterday or the day before with all the Chelsea away?
What was it? I haven't seen it.
Well, whilst we go on to the next game, if you get time to have a quick look.
One last question about Chelsea. So
yeah, do you want to look at
just based on the Champions League, you've sacked a manager who's just won the Champions League, and you've got him for a manager who's never competed in the Champions League. Do you not think that's going to be an issue going forward if you're to get out of this group? I don't think you're going to get out of this group.
No, I agree. It's a bit of a concern now because we got 1 point. We're out of the 6. We should obviously get 6 as Chelsea Football Club. But no, he's gonna get experience as he goes along in Europe, isn't he? So like you've got to expect some teething issues, and we've got AC Milan next, who's I think 2 tough
That'll
games.
Be a tough game.
Both legs, but I don't know. We've got 2 weeks now. Let's see if you can get a good 11 together, get his kind of some idea across, and we'll see. But you're right. Even if we go to Europa League or we don't qualify, I'm not going to be mad at it. It is what it is. We've changed the manager. And your question in terms of we've had Champions League winner, etc., moving down, new manager like Chelsea have sacked managers before. We sacked Ancelotti, who won the double. We sat Di Matteo, we sat Mourinho.
But usually you do get managers who have at least played or competed in the Champions League.
Yeah, as I said, this is different. It's a different Chelsea. It's a trust the process Chelsea, as I keep saying. This is different. This is not like the Chelsea I've known before, but I'm excited to see what happens.
Chavez, you appointed a manager that's never managed in the Premier League. What are your thoughts on that?
Exactly.
Okay. Football exists outside of England, then.
Does it? Didn't realise that.
Yeah, we'll get on to that later. But no, man, just take every day as it comes, really. Just what else can I do?
That's the way to be. Chavez, I do apologise in the intro. I missed out the Manchester United is it Sheriff game?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that? What do you have to say about that game?
Yeah, pretty easy game. Normally, when we used to play with other managers, we wouldn't have easy, comfortable wins. So we had one there. Ronaldo scored a penalty. Good for his confidence. There isn't actually much to say about this game because we won and they didn't really pose a threat. I would say though, defensively now we look very different. I mean, we've got a 4 now. When was the last time you could say Man United have 4 guaranteed starters in the back, and that's not going to change, or even a pairing? Now I don't see Martinez.
Oli didn't change it for a while, did he? Oli had a set 4
for Maguire. And
do you mean good?
Yeah, like, as in with a connection. I don't know. Maguire and Lindelof still have their deficiencies. Even when we used to have that away run, we'd concede quite a lot. Now it just seems like we're unbreakable. And you saw Arsenal; they scored 1, but aside from that, we held them. And I think it comes down to Martinez. He is much better than I think anyone thought. I'm very glad we got him and not Timber, because this guy, you don't see many aggressive defenders that know how to keep their when you're aggressive, you have to pick and choose when you're aggressive, or else you can get sent off. Because football is different now; it's soft. He's very smart at that. So the fact that he hasn't been sent off, he doesn't always get yellow cards. He's very good at that, and we've been missing that since I would say Nemanja Vidic. So to have someone like that is brilliant. They all seem to be quite cohesive. They get along quite well together. And now it's just a matter of keeping them or other ones out. Maguire can't be back.
I was going to say about that. Your £80 million defender. Is that it for him now? Is that him?
Yeah, fantastic. Great. Yeah, great days, happy days. A sense of relief when we see the team news and Maguire's not in it. I think every Man United fan can agree. I guess there are some that feel bad for him, but I don't feel bad for someone who earns that much money and is not playing to that level. So if he left tomorrow, I'd be happy. I really hope Ten Hag does one day take the captaincy off him. Now it doesn't matter as much though, because he's not technically captain. Bruno is whenever we play. But yeah, defensively we look solid. Attacking wise, we didn't really need to do much extra, and we won. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. But yeah, seems to be obviously because your game got postponed on the weekend, but one of the many few Premier League games that got played, Arsenal-Brentford. We'll move on to that one. A 3-0 cushy win away to Brentford as well. No one really probably expected a nice 3-0 win against Brentford. Let me turn this light on for me, because Brentford's like for this start of the season it's quite been like a decent side. It's like I hate to say it, Chavez, but you got smacked 4-0 by them. Like they've been like put. Okay. But yeah, but just what I'm saying though, like you don't expect these type of teams to like play, and then obviously when the what's his face Brentford manager got into an interview, obviously everyone was saying, were you expecting that from Arsenal? He goes, well, yeah, like it's a good day, a good club, but we didn't expect like a 3-0 win, maybe like a 2-1 away. But no, we showed a great dominant performance. Everyone, there's no single player in that Arsenal squad that actually played bad, in my opinion. I think everyone properly done well. Fabio Vieira, when he came in as a number 10, done fantastically well to fill in for Odegaard. Got his goal, what a kid. Martinelli on the left and Saka on the right. There's no complaints from either of that department at the moment. None of them's like slacking at the moment, like you see in other clubs where some people don't really want to try. They actually want to play for the squad. Jesus seems happy in that number 9 position. Like, I don't know. I love his celebration. But other than that, I think Granit Xhaka is obviously proving why he should be, obviously, Odegaard's captain at the moment, but he's captain material since Odegaard's been out, hasn't he? He dominated that performance in midfield against Brentford. A nice little through ball to Jesus for his goal. And, he's really showing his strengths at the moment, Xhaka, and I love it. Like, obviously, like, let's say, for example, 2 seasons ago, if you said to me, oh, Xhaka will be this, like, fantastic midfielder for you, like, in 2022, you'd be like, hold on. Like, he's just been sent off, do you know what I mean? And he threw the armband down, threw his shirt down. No, I don't want him back in my club. But now, look at him redeeming himself.
Have
kind
you
of
forgiven
get
him,
back.
Elliot, for that?
I forgave him ages ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was
But
going to say, if you don't mind, just with your team, because I've been pro Arsenal now since the start of the season. I was saying, I think you guys will be up there with Man City in January. I think you'll have that period where it will just be high flying. I don't know about your board though, because when it comes to January, Man City have the greatest squad on planet Earth right now. Injuries come through. We're in a very sort of tough season with games anyways. We've got a World Cup coming up. I really hope, well, I don't hope because I don't want Arsenal to do well, but from an Arsenal perspective, I really hope your owners do reinforce, because if you do and you strengthen and have 2 positions covered, sort of every position covered with 2 good players, then you could really go for Man City. But it's a tough one. You really need to keep your players injury free, and this is probably the last season to be able to do that. You'll see a lot of injuries. So for me, I think January you'll be there. It's about them also getting involved and helping out.
I agree. It's kind of like the aftermath of the World Cup, though, at the same time, because you got like Saka going to the World Cup. You probably less Jesus, Martinelli. They'll probably go to the World Cup as well. He's not always not in it, but stuff like this, like they'll obviously go on to the World Cup, and obviously the World Cup's a bit like Buki, where you play the likes of these lower clubs, the lower international teams that'll probably just hack you down, so you get injured more frequently, and then obviously it might affect us. Like these international friendlies that are coming up over these next 2 weeks. Obviously, will, I reckon, hinder a few teams who obviously get their international duties in. Because I think international friendlies are a bunch of bullshit. I think the Nations League should be completely scrapped. I think it's complete bullshit. But it is what it is. And but obviously, as you said, if we can overcome that World Cup kind of grace period, and as you said in January, could keep continuing, and then in January maybe buy a backup midfielder like Tielemans, for example, or loads of these backups, kind of just to make sure the squad depth's fantastic. Then for example, on Sunday when we played Brentford, Odegaard's gone out with a calf injury. Who do we put in? Fabio Vieira. He had a fantastic game.
You didn't have
Brentford.
That before.
We didn't have that at all.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's nice to have, but. As
Tielemans
I said,
is a good example. If you
example.
actually logically think, why would Tielemans stay at Leicester personally in January when
20th.
They're doing so terribly? So
he didn't want to stay in summer.
But I don't see your owners. Yeah, I don't see your owners doing that, and that's the problem. If Arteta is covering his end beautifully. The process is working. Your team plays so well, and 11 for 11, you're not the best team in the league. If you were just to go compare position by position, yet you're top. So It means it's working. But now it's their turn when it comes to January. Back him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's tough because obviously, in the likes of midfield at the moment, we do have backups for the likes of El Neni, Lokonga, but I said that. I said at the start of last season we should have sent Lokonga out on loan, in my opinion, get him some game time elsewhere, because he's still young. He just came in, and obviously it was another case of Nuno Tavares, where he just wasn't adapting quickly enough to the Premier League and was quite losing the ball frequently. So, in my opinion, he needed a loan spell somewhere, maybe in 6 months. I don't know, but he definitely needed something. El Neni, he's a good. I said this before. El Neni's one of those players that when you play a slow team, I don't know, but even before a West Ham or something like that, a slow midfield like Soucek in the midfield, he could do well. But if you come up against the likes of Thiago and Keita in midfield against Liverpool, he's going to struggle against them because he's quite slow. So as you said, a good Tielemans backup midfield, because Partey and Xhaka at the moment are untouchable, and as long as I'm hoping stay injury free, so then we can obviously, as you said, get that spell to continue going until January, and then who knows where we'll be. But then obviously the big test will be Tottenham on the October the 1st, because obviously we got them at home. That'll be a big test, because obviously at home at the Emirates playing our North London derby rivals. So if we go ahead and win that, then as you said, Chavez, we're competing up there with Man City.
Yeah. No, I want to kind of bring up on Arsenal, I can, I guess, see improvement since last season. Do you remember you lost to Brentford in the first game of the season, but you obviously beat them now comfortably. So, and I did think you'd like lose your mindset. I did predict you to lose. So obviously there is positive change going on in Arsenal, and I guess you're right to keep with Arteta and stuff. But I think the squad is just a bit of an issue, and that's if you get injuries. If you don't and you carry on the way it is,
plain sailing. Yeah,
like the morale is good. The stadium looks like people are buzzing to go to Arsenal games, etc. So yeah, you're in a good position, aren't you, at the moment? You must be very happy and stuff. And
yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's just got the big teams, isn't it? Now, really, just
exactly. Yeah.
See how you do against them. Like, obviously,
I'm confident.
Man United. Yeah, like Man United, you did lose, but
it was still a good game. Chavez can even admit that was a great game from us as well. Like, it wasn't a 3-1 defeat. Like, it wasn't one of those games. It was just unlucky to like counterattacks.
Yeah, like probably the scoreline wasn't justice to the game, but no, if you obviously against the bigger teams, you start getting results and stuff. And obviously, you're probably better than top 4, really. Just top 3,
exactly.
Maybe, yeah. It's all right though. I bet you're happy right now.
Yeah, very happy. It's nice to have this kind of feeling after maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe even like longer, just to like sucking it up, maybe in like 6th position at the moment in the table in previous years. So yeah, it's a nice time to be an Arsenal fan. Even when you watch like the likes of AFTV and stuff like that, everyone's buzzing, everyone's happy, everyone's like, yeah, we're playing fantastic. And then when us fans are like obviously saying this, we're saying like they're fantastic and this, that, and the other. It obviously boosts the players as well. Like Saliba getting his chant. Like, we love that. I mean, Vieira obviously getting his chant now. He loves that. Jesus, Arteta. We've all got a chance for everyone, so it's great, and everyone loves it. So yeah, as you said, like no complaints in the morale department.
Do you think you'll be able to keep Saliba, hopefully? Because do you not think 100%. A couple big top teams will come after him if he's?
Nah, we're going to get him to sign a new contract, aren't we? Come on, Saliba, sign that contract, and you, Martinelli.
Fair enough.
Put the pen down. But yeah, nothing more to add for us. Just keep going, Arsenal. But Dan, we know you like to waffle on for Watford about for a minute or so. But Sunderland and Blackburn, I recall a video where you were like, "We're going to beat Blackburn." What's going on?
Well, what's going on? So lost 2-0 to Blackburn and drew 2-2 with Sunderland. But there are bigger issues at the club as per. I remember saying, obviously, when we did the predictions for the championship, I was like, yeah, we should be all right if we keep Dennis, Sarr and Pedro. I didn't realise how much of a carry job it would be for Sarr and Pedro. People are calling for Edwards' head already. That's incorrect. Sporting director's just gone.
That's Watford.
No, but
so listen to this.
It's almost like the Pozzos have gone here. Build me a table, and he's giving him car parts. Like, what are you meant to do with that? But there's nothing.
Good analogy.
We signed Mario Gaspar, and he left him out of the squad whilst he's fit and went, yeah, it was a technical and something else problem.
So is it the manager's issue then, not the board?
No, as in he hasn't given in the players. Edwards has come out and said at the start of the season that I'm having like weigh-ins on transfers and having my say. He can't be, because we're starting our player of the season, Kamara, at left, who was left back last year, at right back. Ken Sema, who's a winger, at right back. We've got 2 right backs in our squad. The defence is the same defence as it was about 8 years ago. But mention it. I don't know if you lot keep up with Serie A. I don't know if they are after the results last night. But about 5 o'clock last night, Udinese were top of Serie A. Mm-hmm. We can't even beat fucking Rotherham.
Dan, very quickly, what was it with your sporting director got the boot, didn't he? What happened there?
Good. See you later, mate. See you later. I'm glad he's gone.
What did he do?
He had a poor few months. No, he deserved to go. He did have a poor few months. Leaked his wife's nudes. Allegedly, he leaked his own wife's nudes. Allegedly got hacked, and now he's lost his job. So he's had a bad few months.
What? What? So what's just happened?
He's not had a good time. But I'm glad he did. Don't ruin my football club.
Yeah. Regardless of your own personal problems, don't ruin Watford.
Yes. But, it comes down to the board. People are calling for Pozzo. Right, I'm not 100% agreeing with them, but rightfully so. You can see where the issues are. And if they're not going to back the squad, then don't be here, essentially. Or,
Yeah.
And,
almost like
very
United
quick-
are with the Glazers or Arsenal are with the Cronkies. It's if
Mm.
you're not going to back or build on the squad. I'm not saying make us into Man City because they haven't got the money. Just use your brain. Just spend wise, and we haven't done that at all. We've just a fact before you chip in. They've signed 30 centre backs since they've come in, and I think 4 of them have cost money. And there was like Craig Dawson, Eunice Cabal, Cavaselli, and
Cabal.
someone.
Didn't
And
he
they're
stay
the
in the
only
Prem for like 5-6 seasons, though? So wouldn't you
Yeah,
class
but-
him as smart?
Well, no, but it's the back. Like, but this is what I'm saying. It's the same issues. It's the defence has been the issue for the last 7 years. Craig Cathcart's collected his pension in about 2 years. Why is he still at the centre of our defence?
Dan,
He's
quick.
all right this season.
How would you fix the defensive problem then?
Yeah, well, how would you fix it?
Don't start Cathcart, Cabaselli, Sierralta in
Truth to come?
2022. Sure, he's had a good game, an all right game.
You brought in
Saturday.
Courtney House. Dan, I was just very quickly going to chip in with. Do you think you're giving your manager a bit too much protection because he kept Sarr and Pedro 2 out of the 3, who are probably better than Championship quality, aren't they? So,
Oh
with
yeah, no,
them
they are
players,
100%.
and you
But-
probably kept a lot of your Prem players. Didn't know a lot of your team, didn't you? Apart from Dennis and a couple others, I can't name off the top of my head, but
Yeah, that's the
maybe
issue. We've kept our
that's the
players.
issue.
That is
So
the.
they
we've
brought
kept
you
our
up though,
defence.
didn't they? They brought you up the season previous to last.
But that's so. If not that you would have, but if you look at our games for the course of this season, like we've drawn a lot of them, and it was like, oh yeah, at the start of the season, so we drew to West Brom after being 1-0 up, and we held on for a 1-0. I mean, it was all right. Like, I was like, yeah, I don't mind that. 1-0 draw away at West Brom, not an easy game to go to. Last season we would have lost that game. Now it's an improvement. We drew.
Yeah.
What are we 10 games down the line now, and we can still draw in games, and we're going, okay, well now it's a case of we're not losing these games because we're in a worse league. Otherwise, we would just be losing every week. That's where the issue lies. The fact that we've dropped a league and still
Same problems.
same problems, and it has been for years. But
very quickly then, yeah. That's I wanted to bring some discussion into the Prem in general, boys. Just what do you lot think of the Prem this season? Obviously, we've got international break. What's your lot's review? Do you think
It's been
there's
good. I like it.
competition yet?
It's very different now, which I like because obviously for the past couple of years it's been Man City, Liverpool running the show, hasn't it? So
yeah, I
it's
was just going to
nice.
bring that up actually. Yeah,
It's nice to see. Well, it's plain and simple that Man City's still running it with Haaland up top. He's been an absolute robot for them. But no, it's nice to see. Obviously, I'm not even being egotistical here, but Arsenal. It's nice to see Arsenal up there because it's challenging. Obviously, as I said, Liverpool, and Man City for the top half of the table. Tottenham have obviously come out and now they're third behind Man City only because of goal difference. Chelsea are surprising us, unfortunately. So Amir, they're not really doing as well as everyone thought. Everyone thought obviously they could challenge for maybe third this season, but nothing's really happened for
we
them.
still can try challenge.
Yeah,
But I was
yeah,
going
of
to bring it
course.
on in
I'm
terms of, do you think the Prem has become maybe a one-band team, basically a one club? Have we become a bit more like the Bundesliga?
It was always
what
going
do
to
you-
happen.
No,
think?
not yet, not yet, not yet.
do
You're
you-
saying
what
that
do you
though
think-
because the league table doesn't reflect it, but we're just waiting
Yeah.
for it to happen.
Do you think it's
If it
going to
does,
be a
then it could be, yeah.
repeat for Pep? And then
also,
obviously with
if you,
Haaland dominating like this as well, do you think we maybe overestimate the Prem too much compared to other leagues as well? Or
There's more competition
no,
in the Premier, in my
but I
opinion.
said you're saying a
but
farmers.
is there?
You're
I
saying
think
a
so.
farmers league.
Well, Newcastle against Man City, sorry, 3-3.
No, that's one game. We're 7 games in. Brighton are still in 4th, above
Mhm.
Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool. Fulham are in 6th, above Chelsea and Liverpool.
Well, I wouldn't even look at the table now, Dan.
Yeah, the
Well, no,
league,
no,
the
but
table doesn't show
but like
what will
the games
reflect
are-
them.
There is a
Yeah, but that still
massive
shows
gulf.
which teams are on form though. Fulham's doing well. Fulham's quite a
Yeah,
scary team.
you're on form, but
we
it's
say
obviously sustainable.
Bundesliga is a farmers league because the same,
You
like
said that, but
I
Augsburg
think
beat
it's
Bayern this week, didn't they? So
no, but I think
you're
it's a
looking at
point of
individuals.
I think it's a point of Bayern have won it consistently, and they go, "Oh, you're a good manager. We'll sack ours because we didn't do all right, and we'll take your manager." Or, "Oh, you're a good player. We'll buy you. You can come to us," and they don't even give anyone else a chance. Whereas
Yeah.
if
Do
you
you
look
think?
at
It's like Real
Do you
Madrid.
think
I know-
Man City's not done that with buying
almost like-
Grealish or getting Calvin Phillips? Do you not think they've done something like that?
yeah, but it's slightly different in the regard of they're buying from, they're stopping teams building up, whereas Bayern usually nick from high like Wolfsburgs and Dortmunds are slightly higher in quality. But it's also I don't know. I
Should have
feel
City-
like
It's a
would-
tough one.
would-
It seems to be a monopoly of teams at the moment, doesn't there? You've got your Bayern, your Man City, your PSG. And then
For
obviously
example,
just
hold on,
behind
but-
you've
but
got,
this is the
well,
thing.
I'll put maybe Real Madrid in that barrier as well, but then just behind you've just got like the Barcelona who are coming back up into terms, Liverpool.
But this is what United did under Fergie about 20 years ago. Obviously, a bit before us, but we've all seen it happen. But it's
Yeah.
like, for example, I'll say Arsenal win the league this season. City go, right, okay, well, we're taking Saliba, we'll take Odegaard, and we'll take Jesus back. That's almost what Bayern do. It's not to the not to the extent of Union Berlin got relegated, but for example, like what happened with us and Dennis, for example. Say if like they've got one of them and they go, well, you've scored
Watford
15
in a
goals this
Prem
season.
convo.
No, but as in he done all right for us. We'll poach him from lower. Bayern
Yeah,
don't.
but
tend to
that
do
makes sense though.
They tend to, but they tend to poach from the top, so they can't poach them. They don't tend to
Right.
drop down, and not as
Yeah,
much. Obviously,
I
they
get what you
still
mean.
do
I
it.
get what you mean.
Yeah,
I get your point, but I think the Prem has obviously become, as you said, the
It's
Fergie
one
point
man
was really
monopoly kind of league.
kind of it. But I'm gonna watch out for the Serie A. I think we should get a Serie A team, boys, because Serie A is really, really good right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing
good.
it.
Delafeu
But
better
yeah.
in the league.
Yeah. All right,
Magic.
boys. Well, that's wrapped up the game week. Obviously, as I say, it's been a short game week with only Arsenal in the Premier League, because obviously it's been quite a weird weekend. But obviously, hopefully next time when we come back in October, we'll be covering a lot more of Arsenal's wins. Love to see it, and then hopefully you'll see if Chelsea get a few games under them where Potter can actually trust the process. We'll see. But in the meantime, thank you very much. Take care.